Aloha guys, and welcome back. This is Ukulele FPV, and today we are going to be looking at the Hobbymate Elite Balance Charger. I would like to thank Hobbymate for sending this over to me for review, and I believe that it is a pretty decent charger, and it is good for either beginners or pros. Though there are many other chargers out there, this one is available direct from Amazon and it has been pretty reliable so far. So I'm going to go over what comes in the box, we're going to go over some of the features and how to use it. So stay tuned. So what comes in the box? So first of all, it came with two boxes. They were stacked on top of each other and they were wrapped together, so they were packaged. In one came the power supply right here. It says that it gives off an output of 15 volts at 6 amps. It's just some relatively generic AC/DC adapter, and it comes with a cord, 3-pronged, with so that you can use it for charging in the wall outlet. It also came with the charger, which is decently sized. Here is my iPhone 5S next to it, so it is not too big. It is good for a field charger. It came with this plug to plug into the side, and it has a T plug on it, but unlike what it shows on the photo, it does not have a T plug with an XT60. It actually has an adapter for that, so that you don't have these hot battery leads just going around. You can plug it in and it then becomes an XT60, so that you can charge most of the LiPo batteries that we are using, as many people now use XT60. If you like using these T plugs, then it came with that as well. We also get this little plug that we can put in so that we can power it off of a car battery or another LiPo, so that we can charge at the field. And that is nice that it comes with that along with the power supply. And then I am not exactly sure about this one. I guess this one is so that we can charge almost any other battery that is listed, because it comes with a T adapter and then alligator clips, so you can plug that in to a lead battery if you want and recharge it. Another thing that came included is this instruction manual. It is made specifically by Hobbymate. It has a little weird printing here, but it goes over all the features, the warnings, and some misinformation I have found. So getting on with the charger, what it can do is, as you can see here, it says that it can charge LiPo batteries, Li-ion batteries, so lithium ion batteries, and then Li-iron batteries, Li-Fi, I don't know how we say it. And then there's high voltage, so we can charge high voltage batteries up to 1 to 6 cells. And then NiM and NiCad for 1 to 15 cells. And then a lead battery, 2 to 20 volts. It can charge at rates of 0.1 to 6 amps. And then the discharge rate is 0.1 to 2 amps. And the charging power is 80 watts. So for a nice little charger, not too terribly expensive either, you can do high voltage battery charging. I have not done any of that, but I don't know, I don't really believe too much in the high voltage. Maybe I would if I was a little more hardcore with racing. And in comparison This is the charger that I usually use. Here is the Thunder Power TP610C AC/DC. So it has this power brick already inside there. And they're pretty much the same size, except this one's a little more painful to take to the field because it comes with the whole AC/DC adapter inside there, the power supply. And one thing that I have done here is I put a different balance plug here, because it came with a Thunder Power balance plug that no one really knows where to get or no one really uses. But looking at the size difference, you can definitely tell. If you leave this power supply home and take this just for the field, it is a lot lighter and easier to carry around. And this one has a big old cord hanging off of it. I'm not sure if you want to see how much it weighs, but I can do that for you guys. Let's see if you will see it. I'm in the wrong units. There's grams. And it says 215 grams. This cord, the power supply, is 200 grams without the wires. With the wires, 241. The plug is 106. And then we have all these other wires too that are 57 grams. So all in all, that is the weights of everything, and let's get on with how it works. So here I have a 1300 milliamp hour China Hobbyline LiPo battery 4S. The power adapter, as you can see when it's plugged in, has a little blue light. And then I am going to use the XT60 plug with the adapter so that I can plug that in. Over here on the side, they have the different cell for the balance plug. You can do 2 cell, 3 cell, 4 cell, 5 cell, and 6 cell. So this one is 4 cell. It'll plug in right there. And we will plug this XT60 in. And when we plug it in here, you will hear it. It will beep. And it has the nice startup Hobbymate Hobby. In the menu, there is you press this to change in the menu, and then enter will go into whichever one you choose. And it usually starts out with lithium battery. Plus or minus will let you go either up or down. So when you go into lithium battery, you can set it to LiPo, high voltage, ion, or iron, and it will change accordingly. We are using a 3S, so if you press enter, it will go to the next thing. You can change how many amps it goes, from 0.5 or 0.1 all the way up to 6 amps if you would like. Though sometimes check with your LiPo battery with your charging to see how much you should actually put into it. It usually says only charge at 1C, 2C, or whatever. And then you go over here, and as I said, it goes from 1S to 6S. So make sure that it's set accordingly. And as you can see right here, it says that it's storage. So in the instruction manuals, it says that at storage, when you do it, it will go to 3.85, but I have found that using it, it will only go to 3.8 volts per cell. So that is a little typo that I have found inside the instruction manual, and I will be sure to contact Hobbymate about that and see what they say. There is also Discharge, which you set what you want it to discharge to, and then it's like the setting for the whole charger. Once you do this, it will discharge it down to that. And discharge rate is from 0.1 to 2 amps, and it's the same thing. You do all that. Oh, started. And yeah, the other one is balance charge, which it will use the balance charger to charge it. There are 3 settings for the balance charger. There is fast, normal, and accurate. That it's supposed to be more accurate if you put on accurate, but it'll take longer to charge. And those are available in the user settings. And then last of all, there is charge, which is the fastest. I believe it charges to about 1/10 of 100%, or 1/10 of the way, all the way. I don't know what it says, something weird. Let me find it. So it will stop at 1/10 of the setting current. So if you set it to 2.3 amps, it will stop when that is at 1/10. And then fast charge will stop at 1/5. So if you want it to charge a little faster, it will not charge all the way, because as it's charging, it'll slow down and it'll stop accordingly, 1/10 or 1/5. And to start charging it, you just press and hold this button. It will beep. It'll do a battery check to make sure that it will read how many cells it has, and then how many that you have put in, and you press enter and it will start going. And then once it's done, right here it tells you what type of battery it is, the cell count, the charge, how fast it's charging, the voltage of the battery, and right here it'll tell you if it's balance charging, discharging, or going into storage. We'll have the time here, and it tells you how many milliamps have been put into it. If you press the plus button, it will show you the voltage of each battery, and if you press this, it will tell you the settings. The capacity cutoff is at 8,000 mAh. The safety timer is at 240 minutes. There's a temperature cutoff, so if you have a temperature sensor, you can plug it in here, and it will tell you, it will cut it off if it reaches that certain temperature. And it will tell you if there's an external and internal temperature. And then if you press it all the way down, it will go to the input voltage and the end voltage. And if you want to stop at any time, you just press that button. To go back to the menu, you press back. You can do these other settings. I do not have a whole lot of experience with them, but from my understanding, you can charge or discharge. You also pick how many cells there are. For discharge, I guess you put it to the voltage. It will put it to the termination voltage, and then you can cycle them. And while it's charging, you can also go into the menus that show the different data, the capacity cutoff, and all those ones again. And it's pretty much the same thing as the other one. It'll show you the capacity, battery voltage, current, timer, and if it's charged, discharge, or cycling. Here in lead batteries, same thing. You pick the voltage, and you can either charge or discharge. And again, it will show all that information while it is charging. And in here, you can go into the settings, user settings, that you can change the buzzer volume. You can turn it on or off, make it loud or low. You can, depends on how long you want it to ring. After it's done charging, you can put it off 1 minute, 2 minutes, up to 5 minutes, or continuously beep until you turn it off after it's done charging. So I usually put that onto 1 minute. The cycle waste time, I am not 100% sure what this is supposed to do. I think this is for NiMH and NiCad batteries with the cycle. So you will set the minute to in between the cycle, how long it takes between cycles. The low input voltage is if you're charging off like a car battery, so a lead battery or whatever battery you're charging off of, you want to set the low input voltage cutoff so that you do not over discharge that battery. It is changeable from 10 to 18 volts. So you'll want to set that accordingly and be careful with your batteries. And then you can change the external temperature cutoff if you have any temperature sensor again. And a capacity cutoff, this will be also for your battery. Instead of just voltage, it will also be the capacity of the battery. It will this is for the battery that is plugged in. So if it goes over that capacity, then it will shut off just so that you don't overcharge your battery. And then the safety timer is to turn off automatically if it goes that long. So if you are going and charging and you need to always be with your charger just in case a fire happens, but if you forgot that you had a battery plugged in and it's been charging forever, it will turn itself off and make sure that everything's a little safer. And then here is the charge limit. You can set it 10 watts to 80 watts, depends on how much your power supply can give you. Here I said something about the menu for the balance charging. It's either accurate or fast or standard. I like to use accurate. It takes a little bit longer, but it is more accurate. And then termination voltage control. It goes to control when you want it to, a LiPo to charge up to 4.2 volts per battery, and discharge, I set it to 3.85, so that it's pretty much like the storage charge. And then you can set that for all the different batteries, where you want it to discharge to and how much you want it to charge up to. And then you can reset to factory default settings. And then one more thing in here, there's two more things. There's the extra function, as you see here, that you can check the battery status of your battery. You pick which battery it is, you press and hold enter, and it will tell you the voltage and the capacity percent. Then you can go in here and look at the individual cells, 1 through 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can also look at the IR, which I am not sure how accurate it is. It only works when you're fully charged, so you charge up your batteries all the way, and then you will see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 what the internal resistance is for each cell of the battery. Then you can balance it here. So you select what battery you have, and then you press and hold it, and this is if you're just charging fast and then it's not fully balanced. you come in here and it will balance the cells, which it says they are already balanced, so it's not doing anything. Then here for digital power, I am not exactly sure. I think it's just so you can see how much it is actually getting, but I might have to get back to you on that. It will show you the real-time current, voltage, time, and power. So if you want to look at how much it's giving you, right here it's telling me 5 amps from my power source, how many volts, there's a time, and then how many watts. And then a smart battery charge is for a brush motor driver. I have no idea what that's for, so you might know, I do not. And then lastly is the load memory. You can set up to 20 different memory, and then LS is the last thing used. What is weird though is that I have set a lot of these memories, but it does not keep them. It always puts them in a different slot. So like if I come in here and I start using this one, and then I go back to the load memory, it will say that it's like on 13, or I press up and it's on 1. And so I'm not sure. I guess it could be useful, but I just don't want to go in and put the time. I just put individually per my battery. And that is about all for this charger. Overall, I believe that it's a good charger. It's a good charger for beginners, for professionals. It's a good field charger. I know there are some better chargers out there that don't have a screen like this. They are a little more fancy, touchscreen and all, but if you're looking for something cheap and from Amazon, Hobbymate makes a reliable charger. I have found that it charges faster than my Thunder Power, and it charges it just as accurately, though they both aren't super accurate. I like to, because of the 1/10 cutoff when you're charging, I like to go down and charge it again at a lower amperage. Anyway, I hope that this has been helpful for you. Thank you for watching this with me. Thank you again, Hobbymate, for sending me this charger. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again soon. Please like and subscribe, and aloha.